Hello, just going through three nice hands from my 25 NL session. Here I 3-bet 8s, especially against cutoff. I think this is quite standard. With 7s I would also 3-bet, but nothing was. Here for my range, actually this is a great flop. Aces, kings, queens. I could check call, check raise, or bet. Probably bet as there's lots of draws. He checks behind. If he bets with 8s, I might check raise to turn it into a bluff and barrel like a turn 10 or 7. Or I could just give up probably. I do have a lot of backdoors. With the 8, I still beat 6-5, I beat pocket 7s, and I beat some flush draws. I decide to check. He bets. I call because 8s is better than ace king here, although unfortunately I block 7-8. And the 9, he could have pocket 9s, but now it's even fewer combos. Jack 9, very few combos. He would bet flop, so it's actually a good hand for my range, but I check because with all my range I should check after checking flop and turn. And he bets 6, and I decide to turn my hand here into a check raise bluff because I block 8-9, which is one of his main nines. He might have 9-10 or 9-ace, but I have 9-10, 9-ace too. And he has a lot of snap folds, which are the missed flush draw, backdoor, and the front door flush draw. And even with a jack, it's kind of ugly. He should probably call with pocket queens if he ever has those and doesn't 4-bet them, but I think it's a good bluffing candidate. Ideally, of course, I would have red 8s and not the club and the spade, but can't always decide. He folds very fast, so it was a nice bluff. Next, there's an undergun limp. He doesn't have a full stack. I ISO with jacking off. This flop hits me very well. I have all the overpairs, flush draws. I bet half because people who limp their third bet usually doesn't work as well. Here I turn, usually they flop the world. Here I turn the world, open man straight draw and a flush draw. I decide to bet big. I could still have aces with a flush draw, kings with flush draw. I would bet them, or ace queen with a flush draw. He calls. I put him on a 10 mostly. I was trying to fold out 6s to 9s. Maybe he has a flush draw though with 9s or something. And then the 4 is great for my range because I have aces, kings, queens, queen ace. I decide to overbet jam. I could also have pocket 10s. Okay, and he, after a while, folds. Yeah. It's probably one of my best bluff candidates. I also blocked Jack 10, which is nice, and King 10. And yeah, I just missed the draws. But yeah. Okay, next hand we have 8s again. It's a button open. I could 3-bet it, but I just choose to call. Here a simple call and flop. I could actually check raise to slow him down and for protection as people c-bet a king too much, but it's a bit unnecessary. I beat 5x, 6x. 7 hits my range slightly more, but not much. He checks behind, so he could have a weak king at best, but mostly he has maybe a showdown value with an ace. And the club comes, so I decide after a while that I'm going to check. And he bets, and he's wrapping an ace, maybe at best 2 pair, like ace deuce, ace 5, ace 7. But all his flush draws, he would accept the ace flush draws, but he can't have an ace flush now because the ace is the river. But all his flush draws for sure would barrel the turn. And so out of this reason, I decided to check raise bluff because I have all the 5x flushes and the 2x flushes. And also I could have 3-4, maybe also ace 5. It's very thin, jack raise for value. But 3-4 for sure. And also a set I could have like pocket 7s, pocket 5s. And he actually starts talking. He actually writes in the chat like, you have 3-4, and I don't answer, and he actually takes a full minute before deciding and finally folds. Success. Okay, those were today's hands. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day.